know, not everybody thought that I should come on this show.
We appreciate it.
All right.
Fuck them. People don't like how you be yourself. Fuck them. Fuck them up against the wall. Wear handcuffs on and crack your little lips. That's all you do.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Majestic.
Behavior.
Podcast.
Majestic Behavior Podcast. Coming at you. Majestic Behavior Podcast.
Back at it.
Back
at it, y'all.
How y'all doing? I'm the Mrs.
Y'all know me, I'm Jay Black.
And we here. It's a nice Sunday evening. Decided to come at y'all with a new one. Another one.
Hit them with another one.
So, we here.
This podcast right here is called Majestic Behavior.
Yes.
This isn't where we have a whole bunch of news and different situations going on. We get straight to the point. There's a situation in the black community that when they talk about it, sometimes you feel like they're not hitting it hard enough. They're not knocking down the walls. They're not saying with how they really feel. They're using other words or other situations to cover up how they truly feel to actually speak out.
Fellas. People are sugarcoating, giving you the silver lining, not really telling you the facts. Or if they are giving you the facts, they not giving it to you straight up and down like we about to hit you over the head. Some things will be, directed from the news. Some things will be, entertainment wise, but we giving it to you straight up and down how we see, how we feel about it. And hopefully, you guys agree, and if you don't, we want to hear that too.
Exactly.
So you can definitely hit us in our email, majesticbehavior9@gmail.com, majesticbehavior9@gmail.com. So we about to jump right in there. Our episode is called Think First, Not Twice.
Sure.
Think first, not twice. Usually if you go with your gut, you're usually right.
All the time.
You're usually right. And when you second guess yourself, sometimes you set yourself back. So think first, not twice.
Right.
So it's sad to say that we coming up.
We coming at y'all with the whole Breonna Taylor. How the system worked, how the situation began, how it got started, how we even got here is the question. What we gonna talk about, how you feel about it, how it made me feel.
So
You feel what I'm saying?
we about to break it down. We got the whole case, the actual story. Me and hubby sat back and we watched the documentary, and it was very informative. It was a lot of things that we didn't know, a lot of pieces of the puzzle, a lot of questions were answered.
Right.
It's sad to say that, the media put it out there that, it was the wrong house and, it was an accident and all these things. But once the facts start to come out and, the truth is starting to be told, it really wasn't the wrong house, but they didn't need to be there. It was no just cause for them to kick her door in and all that because she was in communication with the brother. I don't think that was just cause, they didn't have any recent mail coming to the house. They didn't see any recent activity. It wasn't like she was going to the jail, but she did still, was in contact with another guy while she was in a relationship with the young man that was there when she passed away. So, with that being said, when you start to learn the actual pieces to the puzzle, it doesn't justify what happens, but it makes, it gives you some type of understanding.
understanding how the situation began, how it even got started.
Right. I believe, yeah, if this young lady wasn't involved with this young man, possibly these things couldn't have happened. You know, when they showed the map of the houses that they planned to raid that day in the proximity of her house to the other houses, there was no reason for them to be there.
No, it wasn't. No. Let me rephrase
It was,
that.
but it wasn't.
There was a reason for them being there. The young man that was locked up had mail going there or had an address, but he had her address. So there was a reason of going there. Now, should that man had that address to have whatever sent there or just even having an address? Should he? No, he shouldn't. Why? Because there was a whole male living there. How she did it, she was talking to him on the low. And this is how we got here.
And I mean, it's sad to say, ladies, but sometimes we put ourselves in situations.
Not just ladies.
I mean,
They do the same
people
shit.
in general. You put yourself in a situation and you don't really see the ripple effect.
Right.
You throw that little pebble in there and you see some of the ripples, but those ripples go real far and very deep.
Right.
So you never know what that ripple is going to do or how it's going to come back at you.
Right.
You know, so we all have to be aware and we all have to be open and communicate. If she's still talking to this young man for motivational purposes or whatever, you know, if she's entangled, whatever it may be, tell your man that. Let him know, because you see what happened. This man is traumatized for the rest of his life.
Forever.
And then he's also learning facts about his woman that he didn't know, and she's gone.
That's fucked up.
You know,
It's fucked up.
it's one thing to lose my loved one, but then to find out why I really lost my loved one, it's like, alright, yo, come on, like,
Right.
it's fucked up both ways.
Right. I mean, it's sad to have this situation happen, especially to a young black woman, to be violated at night, you know, without even knowing what was getting ready to happen. But there's consequences for everything you do, good or bad. You just gotta be careful. You can't stop. Look, we have to stop all of this behind the back, the lying, the secrets, the lies, all of it. I'm trying to tell you, if we stop doing these things, certain situations will not happen.
Yeah. Or we could be better prepared. You know, like, not saying she knew the officers was investigating her house or whatever it may be, but she can be better prepared. Like, if you know for a fact that such and such is sending these packages to your house or whatever, you know, or not even let them send them to your house. Like, yo, put them on game. Like, tell them get a P.O. box or something. Like, they ain't gotta do all that. Like, they ain't gotta send it to your house. Like, this is what I'm gonna tell my daughter. Like, if you wanna mess with this kind of dude, make sure they smart. Make sure they not bringing none of that shit back to your house.
Well, that's the thing. We have to move past and move forward from the easy way of living. Selling drugs don't get you but so far. What is the appeal about a drug dealer from an average man? Telling our
Fast
women,
money.
huh?
Fast money.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, money gonna come. The question is, can you save? Can you make your rainy day money? Can you do this and do that? No. We have to start telling. What I feel like, we have to stop telling females, or start telling females, start looking for the better picture of life. Stop doing the
Not
moment
just
shit.
females, everybody.
Well, same thing with men too. Yeah,
Start
we
looking for the
definitely
best in you. Like, stop looking for life to just give you things.
Yeah, most
Look
definitely.
for the best in you.
Most definitely.
And then expect the best, you know what I'm saying, from yourself and others.
Yeah, that's true shit.
Like, it ain't even, the world don't owe you shit.
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. So, everything you gotta do is for you.
I mean, one thing I can say is, for anyone that's listening out there, I know when your situation's fucked up, you know you was like life wasn't supposed to be like this. You know, sometimes we born into fucked up situations, and like the whole community is so fucked up where it's lacking in so many areas, and we have to stop going left and start going right, basically.
The way everybody jumped up when this verdict came about.
That shit.
But at the same time, just like the case, it's about the facts. Like, alright, I'm not saying it's right, but the detective that they gave the charges to, as it states in the New York Times, this fellow, because it was many officers, so I understand to get upset, but make sure you're getting upset about the right thing. This officer that they gave this verdict to,
Right.
none of his shots hit Breonna. Not saying it was justified that he didn't get that much time, but at the same time, his shots were not coincide to her death.
Wait a minute. Whose shots was it?
The detective that they charged. Because there's many officers that need to be charged. This is just one.
No. There were 3 officers. Out of the 3, the 2 didn't get charged. The one officer that did get charged, Brett.
I'm gonna read the article right here. It says 3 officers fired a total of 32 shots. Mr. Cameron said rounds fired by Sergeant Jonathan McGetley and Detective Miles Crossgrove struck Miss Taylor. He said while Mr. Hawkins fired 10 rounds, none of which struck Miss Taylor. That's why his charges were the way they were.
Well,
now, I'm not saying it was right. They all shouldn't have been busting off at her like that, period. But none of his shots technically hit her. So should he be charged as if they did hit her?
well, no, he got charged. Excuse me. He got charged for shotgun. He got charged for a shotgun.
He got charged for recklessly firing his gun during a raid on her apartment.
Right, with a shotgun. You're not supposed to bring a shotgun to, I guess, any kind of raid or whatever. But that's what they charged him with. Is it going to stick? No. There were how many shots?
32.
32 shots. Now, we're going to be honest about it. We're going to tell the truth. We're actually going to sit back and say there were 32 shots. Out of 32 shots, they're supposed to have serial numbers that connect to the gun. Right? Now,
that's why they said his 10 rounds, none of them hit her.
Right. His 10 rounds did not hit her, but he got charged for reckless in shooting a firearm, which was a shotgun. He got charged.
Right. My whole point.
Matter of fact, he got locked up and got bailed.
No, but my whole point is riot, protest, or get upset about the right. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, we gonna have our moment, but every little thing we don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Them other people, the ones that actually hit her, let's see what happens with them.
For some strange reason.
I mean, we all know it's gonna go wrong.
Right.
But I'm just saying. I guess people are jumping up because they're more like, all right, if it's wrong now, it's gonna be wrong later.
I mean, for us to be able to stay away from these kind of situations from happening unless they come into the neighborhood. Because normally they come into the neighborhood. How do we stop that from happening? How do we...
What come into the neighborhood?
Police come into the neighborhood.
They supposed to.
Right, but it's not as if they are already in the neighborhood. Like back in the day, you would have people that was from the neighborhood that drove through, check up on shit, and all that. Now, you got people that lives in West Bubblefuck, and they work in the city, and they don't know how the people are in the city. They don't agree with what the people do in the city. But that's the same with the police reform. Now, they can reform the police and do all these things. What's going to happen next when the boys in the neighborhood or the kids in the neighborhood take over again? I mean, selling drugs, fucking, like, just with the killing shit. Like, we got all this shit going on. And then we are asking for defunding of the police. Reform the police, the whole, how they get their guns, how they get their cars, how they get this. They do not need a new car every year. They don't need the new firearm every year or every
what do you
convention.
think actually defunding the police? You think that's gonna make them nicer people? Like if somebody took your money away from you at work, you think you gonna be a better worker?
Well, that's.
I mean, that's just how I look at it. When they say defund the police, I'm like, I don't know, because I'm like, somebody tell me, like, if you, it's one thing to put me on probation or give me a reprimand or ultimatum, like, you do this, I'm going to do that.
Right.
But to straight cut my pay, because, and especially for the good cops,
Yeah.
you know, that'll easily make me turn. Like, now I got to get bread the hard way.
Yeah.
So it's like, is this whole defund the police really a smart move?
I mean, actually, it's not. Just being real.
Because if I ain't got the right supplies to work with, if my gun ain't working right,
What else?
or this, because I mean, look at how the schools is being ran. They ain't getting the right money, and look at the outcome with that, with our children and their books and stuff like that. So then you gonna do this to the police officers?
Well, that's the thing. Now, they're trying to hurt him with. They're trying to hit him with hers.
And don't get me wrong, I ain't with that Blue Lives Matter. I ain't saying that.
I ain't with that.
I'm just saying some things just don't make sense.
But them defunding the situation will kind of mess things up. But that means that the leaders in the neighborhood are going to stand up and stand forward and take on these responsibilities. Like what Nip was on his way to do. Because he was doing shit to show niggas. Without, he said, basically, I show you better than I can tell you. Yeah, I mean, so having those leaders around and making sure they don't get killed or taken away from us for it, man. But let's take this.
That's the name of the game right there. When you doing the right thing, the game is don't get killed. Because it seems like every time one of us is doing the right thing and helping us and doing for us, for some mysterious reason, we just drop dead. We just become sick. Or the people that hated on us just got hawk up in them from nowhere. They been bitch ass niggas for years, and out of nowhere, now that I'm doing good, you got this guff in you. And now you can kill me. You could have took me out when we were sitting on the couch together smoking it out.
Matter of fact, you know what? We're going to take a pause on that part of that whole conversation. We're going to chill out on that for a little bit. We're going to bring it back to what we normally do, originally do. That's when we smoke that shit down. We smokers over here for real.
Yeah. Stoner girls.
So we out here smoking on Gary Payton cookies. one of my favorites. You know.
Yeah, my baby had to explain this to me because, you know, I'm not big on the sports. Like, I watch just for the socialism of it. But, yeah, I was like, so what's the whole, you know, why do they call it the Gary Payton? What is so special about Gary Payton? So tell me what you told me, babe.
See, my example of Gary Payton is like, if you know Gary Payton's from like the 80s and the 90s, man, him and Sean Kemp, the collaboration on the basketball court was like fire. The alley-oops, the steals, the dunks, the shots. But Gary Payton was a defensive player. And when he D'd you, he was so tight on you like a condom. You feel what I'm saying? But it hits you. He gets you hard when you can't pass him and he steal the ball. He go down the other court.
So I couldn't wait to smoke it. After he explained it to me, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for this defense and it's gonna hit me hard. And that's exactly what that shit did. Hit me hard like a motherfucker, and I went right to sleep like a baby.
That's what I'm saying. The Gary Payton shit, man.
And that nigga took me to the hole and laid me down.
Yo, I'm trying to tell you. Switching over from blunt paper to raw paper has been a great idea. Like, you get the pure feeling of what the grass is and shit.
It tastes better.
The taste. Oh my god, the taste. I can't get rid of the taste. The taste is, oh my god, the taste shit is so good.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
But also, man, look, we got a magazine me and the missus has been working on.
We've been working hard, man. We've been in the lab, man.
Called Majestic Behavior. It's the magazine.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, the topics and conversations that we have, you know, these things will be in the magazine. There's a cannabis culture, most definitely. It represents what magazines used to look like back in the day with the Right On, Word Up, Source Magazine, Vibe Magazine.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
We got your fashion for the ladies and the men. You know, we got the little outfits. You know, you can piece it together, put it all together, whatever you want to do, mix, match, whatever. You know, then we got the art in there, you know, for our artist people.
Art and music.
You know, so we got that little combo for you guys. And then we also have our...
we got a badass stylist, man.
Yeah, Calzone Corner.
We got a Calzone Corners.
Where you get your little hair tips and, you know, dues for the season. Then we also got Little Taste of Heaven with her recipes, drinks, and food for the season.
We got Cannabis Community, talking about the community of marijuana.
Yep.
The kind of, the best buds, what happens, what's going on in the community.
Man, we grinding out here. We got this magazine coming this fall.
Look,
so
anybody that's listening, that's doing business, that's a part of the weed community or whatever community you're a part of. If you want to be a part of the magazine, yo, hit us up at majesticbehavior@gmail.com.
Majesticbehavior9@gmail.com.
Majestic Behavior.
We're going to have it right by the end of the show.
MajesticBehavior9.
No, ain't no dot. Majestic Behavior.
Oh shit, I just said the website. That motherfucker Gary Payton just hit the shit out of me. That nigga just stripped the ball. I done fucked up.
Man.
MajesticBehavior9@gmail.com. Yo,
there it is.
if you want advertisement, free advertisement, the first 4 issues that will come out, we are going to look at the connections. We're going to look at how people like it. And about time we get to the 4th issue and everything looks good.
No, rewind. He just said free advertisement. Did y'all hear that?
That's what I said.
Free advertisement. Y'all better hit this email up.
I'm just saying. Free advertisement in the magazine. Even if you're a business owner, black owned, or down with the black community and want to help out, you just want to get a little information into the magazine, look.
We're doing interviews. We're
Yes.
doing via Skype. We know the whole COVID, the pandemic. People don't are a little hesitant about meeting face to face. So we can do over the phone interviews. We can do Skype interviews. Any way you want to do it, we got you. You know, you can submit your own pictures. We can come down at a different time and, take some quick pics. Whatever it may be, we'll work with you.
Any artist, music, artwork, anybody that's down. You want to be a part of.
I don't care if you're making chairs,
right? You know what I mean?
Tables.
Look, we are. Majestic behavior is something big, and I know it's supposed to help change or be a part of the change. So this is what it means to me. One half of majestic behavior. It's about a style, it's about a swag, and it's about an act. So people see you, your majestic behavior.
It's a mood, it's a feel.
Right at it. But back to the shit.
Yeah, so hit you with another one. MB9 Custom Tees and Designs. We got the t-shirts for you. We got the custom logos for you. If you're trying to brand your business and you just don't know, you got an idea in your head, you're scratching and you're trying to think and get it out, give us a call. Hit us up. majesticbehavior9@gmail.com.
Showing up.
And then also coming back at y'all this Sunday, October the 3rd, Perspectives. The 3-0. We back at it. We're back at it. So hit us up. We're going to be on October the 3rd at 11 p.m. next Sunday at 11 p.m. Telling y'all, we hitting y'all over the head. Everything.
Listen, we just trying to get something started here, man. Ain't much, just a little something. And then also, listen, all the podcasts that's connected to Chop It Up, Perspectives, Keith Latix, check out the artist music. It's a whole playlist. And yo, great music. These are nice people that make this nice music in the background.
Yes.
But back to the conversation with these bitch ass niggas that you was talking about.
Oh, the police?
You was talking about noticing the fact that these people end up sitting right next to the motherfucker and then find out it was a bitch ass nigga that was a cop.
Oh man. Not even if they was a cop, it's just somebody that's dirty. Period. They could be right there in your path. And then the thing about it is you gotta think about the saying. Keep your friends close but your enemies closer. So why wouldn't they be right there? How am I gonna the best way to get away with something is to stay right in it. Niggas running around looking for the murderer and I'm standing there right there at the scene.
I mean, that's even with we had a conversation earlier about people. It doesn't matter how they connected to you, they connected to you. And when you end up going through situations, like I'm not really big on like friends, but I'm big on like family. Family means a lot to me. Friends is like fucking turning on the water. You can turn that bitch on and off. But sometimes when a person shows you who they are the first time, it actually means something. Now, it can mean that, they actually got this flaw and they need help. Or, they really got a default that's fucked up and they don't know how to ask for help. Or, they're just a person that really doesn't know. So, when you go through these situations and you end up realizing you second guess yourself, you get those, damn, I wish I had, or I shoulda, coulda, woulda type of situations. You know what I mean? Like, going with your first instinct is so better than going, like, back and think about it again. One thing, if you do what's right, the outcome is so much easier and better.
And even when you go with your gut and it doesn't always come out the way you expected it to, or sometimes it may flop, it's not because you did the wrong thing. It was because there was a lesson that needed to be learned.
Yeah.
It's not always because you did something wrong. Maybe you didn't learn, or maybe you needed to be more aware or pay more attention or be more patient. You know what I'm saying? So don't always blame yourself for the downfalls. Learn from the downfalls.
Yeah.
Because when you blame yourself, you're going to easily put yourself into a depression. Easily. And don't be afraid of help. Don't be afraid to ask or look for help. Therapy is okay.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I think that's one of the best decisions we made in our life.
Yeah.
Individual therapy.
Like that's
you can do couples and all that stuff, but you
Yeah,
really gotta make
individual.
sure you right. Individual therapy is a must in the black community.
Yeah. Most.
Every black baby should be born with a therapist and a worker. Period. You come with a birth certificate,
Oh
a
my
security
God.
card, and a therapist and a worker.
You know how much help that would be for a child to come into the world with a fucking therapist? Oh my God.
From day one,
Yeah, like, and
they
then,
evaluate the family, and then they work with the child.
like, if you're from Baltimore that's listening to this and you're looking for therapy, they are actually offering free therapy.
But anyone with medical assistance.
Yeah.
I don't care where you live in Maryland. I don't care where you live in this United
Word.
States.
Right. Your system.
If you
is
have
there.
medical assistance, therapy is free. And there usually is a program in your city or your state that they have therapy that people can come to you, come to your home, they can meet you.
Like
You don't
you-
have to go into the office and lay on that couch like you see on TV. It's not like that.
Like, I'm gonna be 100. I think if a murderer was to have a therapist on hand 24/7, I think they'll stop killing.
Nah,
Because
I
I
don't
feel
know, because
like,
it ain't all about just having therapy either, because that's what I wanted to touch on.
look,
You gotta be honest.
no.
You gotta be
It's-
real. If you're not real in therapy, then you ain't no point of going.
Well, that's the thing. Now, I feel like if a person gets to a stage in life when they start saying to themselves they want therapy, I feel like that's the first step to wanting something and meaning it. But getting into it, it's kind of different, because once they start realizing they have to tell so many things that they held back,
You have to tell on yourself.
well, you gotta snitch on yourself all the way.
All the way.
All the way. Because I feel like,
It's so easy to tell on everybody else, but to tell on what you do and really how it went down, that's one of the hardest things. And then when you hear yourself say it out loud, it's like, motherfucker.
you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. I mean, look, just to be able to understand why you do what you do takes a lot of patience, compassion, and what's a word for not pointing the finger at yourself? No self-destructing. Being able not to self-destruct yourself, because a person who start realizing what's actually going on, and then instead of them trying to fix it, they self-destruct.
Yeah, self-sabotage, self-destruction, yeah. Like, self-sabotage is more like, it's too good to be true, I gotta fuck shit up. But
No, it's a self-destruct button.
self-destruction is what you're talking about.
Yeah, because it's like, and the reason why I call it the self-destruction button is the mood or defense mechanism that they actually go through to destroy, basically try to destroy the evidence by basically getting away from it, breaking it down to a point where there's no coming back or no what's the best word?
Burn your bridges.
Yeah, burn all that shit. Like self-destruction.
And a lot of times we don't even realize we burning bridges just by not taking the help. Like, people be really trying to go hard for you. And you be like, nah, not answering phone calls, not doing this, not engaging, not, telling your story, or, giving a person a chance to be there for you. People be really trying to be your friend.
Hell yeah. Man, they always trying to do something.
Yeah, but you gotta look out for you. I don't give a fuck how much help out there. You definitely gotta look out for you, because sometimes help comes with a fucking agenda.
Yeah.
So make sure you good and make sure people really riding for you.
Right. And then another thing I wanted to touch on. When it comes to second guessing yourself, a person that ends up in a situation, a bad situation, they started having bad feelings about it just before they went to the situation. Meaning, one scenario that we do know in the community is a female going to a house thinking there's one person there, and it's actually more than one. One thing led
fellow guys.
Yeah. And one thing led to another. Boom. She either got raped or she got mind fucked into a train. Or the dude fucking cut school just to go get some. But the day he got some, he knew he shouldn't have went. He had that second gut. He had a test to do. Same thing for a female. We have to just go for what we know. Stop second guessing what you think. Stupidity.
Stop thinking you can't do it. Because the thing about it is, when you get into that crossroad of self-sabotage and self-destruction, is that question in your mind, do I really want to do this work?
Right.
That I'm really supposed to be doing? Or do I want to take the easy way out and do some other bullshit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all those decisions derive from some shit that you didn't feel like doing.
Exactly.
You didn't want to go to school.
Yep.
You wanted to get into some pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Now look what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You really didn't feel like putting that work in. A lot of times the decisions we make is a distraction from the shit that we supposed to be doing.
Right. I mean,
so stop bullshitting with yourself.
Yeah. I mean, there are more like, not to go off the topic, but there's like when you look now, there are more people renting shit than people actually owning anything. So it's like, when you get that check, stop second guessing yourself. Do what you're supposed to do. Get that little piece.
If you want better, do better.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, doing the right thing, it's not just a movie. It's not just a movie, though.
No, it's definitely hard. It's not going to happen overnight. Niggas watch YouTube, niggas watch these movies and think things supposed to happen in 20 minutes, then an hour. Oh, I'm going to fix my whole love life in one argument, and we going to fuck it out, and everything's going to be alright. That's
right.
Not how life goes.
I mean, the fucking the shit out part, I mean, that comes after you actually work on the shit. You gotta actually work first before you actually try to do that. But yeah, sorry I had to touch on that.
No,
but
you good.
It made me think like, yeah, you know what? Niggas used to think that slinging a dick would calm the situation down. No, it just makes the shit even worse. Like, just being real.
Because you're giving yourself, every time you do it, you're giving yourself. And then you feel less of, especially when you don't feel heard, or you don't feel worthy, or whatever whatever the issue is, fucking ain't gonna change it.
That's right. Yo, I'm gonna tell you like this. Your body is your temple. It's precious. And this goes for a man and woman. Every time you go out here and you do something, you're giving yourself a little something to them. And
you're
vice
taking
versa.
it, you're giving energy. Mm-hmm. You're taking their energy and you're giving your energy. And I don't want to give no positive or no negative.
That's normally what happens too.
It's not happening.
I mean, that's why so many separated homes and the way children grow up. Like, there should be no reason why growing up having no father was the most popular thing back in the 80s. And I'm like, yo, if someone that I knew had a father in a home, yo, they was living life. I'm like, yo, when you think about it, yo, the way we think about shit, stupid.
Yeah, because the flip side to it is, yeah, daddy could be in a home, but daddy could be fucking everybody up in that bitch.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I'm saying? Or daddy could be in that bitch fucking all the bills up.
Like,
or not contributing.
Yeah.
You never know. We just be looking at images like, ooh, I want that, but you don't know what comes with it. Be grateful for what you got and the cards that you dealt.
Exactly.
And work with that. We always worried about what Mr. Smith and Mr. Smith got. Like, nah, we don't need that shit. That's not for us.
Right. That's even going...
They work for that.
Right. Not to go off topic again, but actually going to stay on topic with it. For the females or for the men, not few, but yeah. If the man put their hands on you the first time, that's it.
Oh God.
They are who they are. You can't do nothing about that. There's no changing it. There is no fixing it. You as a person cannot do nothing for that type of person.
We're gonna go back to self and saving yourself.
Yeah.
I don't even care if he does change. It will never change what happened.
Get out of that shit. Like, you have to understand that. What they show you is who they are. A violent being. A person that get drunk and do it. Like, not understanding how many women actually out here being abused. And they think that shit is cool. It's not.
And there's many forms of abuse, ladies. There's physical. There's financial. There's mental.
Not just with them. It's not just about the ladies.
No, it's not. It's abuse. Period. Both sides. Men can be physically, mentally, and financially abused as well.
Any men that's being abused, don't be afraid. It's what it is, yo.
Tell somebody.
Do something about it.
It ain't gotta be your homeboys, because we know how that can go. Mm-hmm. But tell somebody. Tell your mama. Tell somebody this wench is abusing me.
Exactly.
And I don't want to fucking kill her. Because that's what's going to happen. The scared person does the worst shit. When you scared, you are more likely to kill somebody. So get out of it before you end up in a morgue or a jail or a psychiatric ward.
When you end up on something, man. I mean, just being able to do it once and not twice feels so much better. Like, being able to have that factor, meaning you have to be 10 steps ahead of everyone that's around you. You have to be able to want to do right, and you have to listen to what the universe tells you. Because like those moments you go past a homeless person, sometimes you passing them was a good thing. That one. But there's another time when you have something and you pass a homeless man. Yeah. You gotta be able to understand what life is really about.
You know when you can give and when you can't.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing, keeping it real with yourself.
Stop following behind man. I get it, man. I get it. Real shit. Listen, I'm loving this. Majestic Behavior Podcast.
Yeah, majestic behavior.
I mean, listen, man. This shit is gonna be big. Follow it. Understand it. Yo, life is different, man.
It's a mood, y'all. That's all he trying to say. He trying to get all the words to wrap around the fact that it's a mood. Majestic behavior is a mood. It's more than just a business. It's more than a podcast. It's more than a magazine. It's more than it can be explained. It's a mood.
Yeah. Real shit. I mean, the universe did this. Only thing I did was, they said, what they say in that movie?
What?
You build, they will come.
Oh, if you build it, they will come.
I'm telling you. Yo,
Feel the dreams.
I'm telling you. Real shit. Feel the dream. Was it Kurt Russell?
No,
not Kurt Russell.
I don't know him like that. I love y'all, but I don't know y'all like that.
Yeah. But, man, this is Jay Black, man.
And the missus.
Majestic Behavior.
We appreciate y'all. One love.
One love.